I'm Jacob.
I'm Justin.
And apparently I have a dick in my throat.
Dick in my mouth.
Dick in my mouth. Happy Pride Month.
Right? It's June already.
It is June already. Wow, we've been at this, since March? Yeah, wow.
3 whole months.
3 whole months, indeed. Speaking of whole, if you stand outside my apartment complex, you can smell what's been in everybody's hole, because there's a sewage backup right now, and it's
a shitty situation. Fine, I'll leave.
It's less than optimal.
It's really what I would imagine toxic shock to smell like.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Because there's definitely pads in there. There's gotta be. I mean, the shredded up shit that's coming out. Oh yeah. No. It's very disgusting.
Welcome back to terrarium.
Scientists need but to come to my apartment and just collect stuff to clone people.
How to get stool samples on everybody in the complex.
On everybody. Well, the landlord said they were going to charge everybody the extra plumbing costs if this happened again. So I'm interested to see what's going to happen with that.
That's illegal.
It should be.
No, it actually is.
Audience, pay attention. Know your rights, because I don't.
No, as renters, you cannot be charged for malfunctioning products like sewage. That you can't be charged for that.
Heard. Well,
that's like if your air conditioner breaks, you can't be charged for service.
They're holding us liable. They're holding the whole complex liable.
That's bullshit.
I know. Yeah, bullshit indeed. So Justin, how do you feel about kink and pride? This was a hot button issue last year. I don't know how it is this year.
Like kink and pride, or
kink at pride?
For me, there are boundaries to it. Me, I like public play. I do, as y'all learned in the first episode.
Yeah.
And the second.
And probably somewhere, I was going to say, and the fourth. And the fifth.
And, for me, it's okay. But there seems to be a lot of misconception as far as, public play.
Yes.
Especially at Pride.
Yes, definitely.
For me, it's one of those things you see 2 dudes banging out a, twink on the corner. That is not an invitation nor consent for you to join.
That, and also, I don't have any problem with kink at Pride, but, look around to make sure there aren't, kids present if you want to bang one out with the twink on the corner.
Yeah.
Because, Pride, especially around, Pride here is a family event. It's for the whole family. So, I think that there is a clear distinction, and I really don't think that's really, specifically, kids witnessing sexual activity has not been an issue at Prides in the past.
No, I've never seen kids at Pride, nor at where I'm from, Southern Decadence. I've never seen it.
Right, and ultimately too, even if they see a bunch of go-go boys on a float, shaking their packages, how is that any different from when I was 7 and my dad and mom took me to Hooters? Really and truly.
Or seeing something on TV.
Exactly. So. I opened that up, and you kind of took the bait there. Today we are going to be discussing. It's going to be less about Grindr specifically, and more about some yikesy content, some talks about consent. Yeah.
So trigger warning.
Going forward. This is going to be. Heavy, and I'm not talking about me pre-weight loss either.
Well, we're still gonna have, some Grindr, some scruff, and stuff like that thrown in there. Because, consent doesn't have to be in person.
That too.
And, I've noticed, especially with guys online, a lot of unsolicited things are sent. Pics, stuff like that, messages. Of things that people want to do, and I'm like, okay, I didn't ask for this, nor did I consent to you sending me these things.
Yeah.
And, consent for me, especially with the kinks that I partake in, such as BDSM, Dom, subplay, all of those things do require express consent. And a lot of these guys nowadays don't realize consent can be retracted.
Absolutely. Consent is fluid, just like anything else.
Right. It's very much like water.
It's funny that you say that too. I was reading an article yesterday that Billie Eilish got interviewed. And she talked about how porn like really fucked her up.
Yeah.
Watching porn. Now this is of course from the perspective of a young cis female.
Right.
But like, I think that it kind of can bleed into our expectations as well. I mean, porn, she said that she started watching porn from a very early age, like 11, so that's actually around the time I started watching porn too.
Same.
But it gave her false expectations, not only of what her body should look like, but the things that she should be expected to say yes to.
Right.
And she talked a lot about how, she ended up doing a lot of things in her formative years that she was very uncomfortable with and did not feel good about just because she had been conditioned by watching porn to believe that she should just do whatever and that whatever she was doing was normal.
And one of the things, that brings me to is like you've got these massive porn companies. You got men.com, things like that. Not bashing.
No, look, far be it from us to bash porn companies. I think we both have been around the internet, still to this day. So
So that brings me to say, like, with the new age of kids coming up and things like that, and what they're being exposed to at an earlier age, it should be in the credits, the opening credits. I mean, if you say porn has opening credits, that all parties have given express consent, that
well, and they're also paid actors,
and that they are paid actors.
I think it's just like it's like Jackass. I was just watching the new Jackass yesterday. There's before every episode or every movie, there's this thing like warning, like, these are performed by professionals, in a controlled environment. Please do not try this at home.
Right, exactly. That kind of thing on porn. And I think that's where the rise of OnlyFans started, is that you don't have to look a certain way, and that the people that are playing with them on OnlyFans have given that consent. A little bit of a heavy story. Back when I was 20, I was living in Louisiana, going to my first Southern Decadence. I was so excited. Now, to preface this, consent is not confirmed unless asked. Be it by physical gesture or whatnot. Consent that has nothing to do with what you're wearing, what you look like, what your gender is. Consent has nothing to do.
Also, just for the audience members that may not know, could you explain, what Southern Decadence is?
So, Southern Decadence, it's one of the actual largest Pride festivals. It's hosted in New Orleans in September. And it's a really fun event. However, there are circumstances that I will not return, of which I will get into. I was, 20 years old? Just moved to the city a year, not even a year prior to it. Having been sexually assaulted prior to that, I was out, I was dancing with a friend, had nothing to drink. However, if you've ever been in New Orleans, it's humid, it's hot. I'm fat.
Very, very hot.
And I was dancing at one of the local gay bars on Bourbon Street and just having a good old time. Just dancing with my friend. We were grinding up on each other. Well, this dude comes up behind me and just starts dancing with me. And I think nothing of it at the time until he decides that he's going to pull my underwear down in front of everyone. And he starts trying to fuck me. No consent, no ask, hey, do you want to play? No, nothing like that. And, as somebody who had never been to Southern Decadence before, very traumatizing. One of the reasons why, it's the sole reason I will never go back. So I make a beeline for the bathroom because I see a group of guys in there. You know, nothing funny has happened. Because that bar actually took the doors off the bathroom because of that.
A lot of gay bars in New Orleans don't have doors, actually.
So I go into the bathroom. The guy is right behind me. So I see him. I leave the bathroom. I go downstairs and out the front door. And the dude's still behind me. Like, he is keeping up. And I'm like, son of a bitch. And I get out the bar. And old dude is screaming, why are you running away from me? Why won't you let me fuck you? Why won't you this? Why won't you that? Come back here, you little slut. Da 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 da. Mind you, the underwear that I was dancing in wasn't see-through. Mm-hmm. Completely opaque, but like I said, that has nothing to fucking do with it. I was
gonna say, even if it was see-through,
that's still not consent.
You're just trying to look cute. Yeah, like...
So I found this guy, real mean looking dude. Real mean. Mm-hmm. And I walk up to him. Dude's like 6'7", 320 pounds of muscle. And I mean solid Canadian muscle. This was a big dude. Mm-hmm. And I said...
Oh, so he was a lumberjack.
Yeah, a huge... Yeah. Yeah. And I was like, hey, we don't know each other. I know you're with your friends. There's this guy tracing me. He just tried to fuck me in the bar without consent, da 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 da. And he's like, I got you. Buddy picks me up. Just like I weigh nothing. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And luckily the story does have a happy ending. Mm-hmm. He starts kissing me and, we're just, we're getting into it surprisingly. Mm-hmm. And the dude is like screaming, that's my man, how dare you, how dare you. So the dude puts me down. He said, I don't believe he belongs to anybody. He's like, well, he's going home with me. And he just looks down at me and he's like, did you tell him that? I said, no, I don't want anything to do with him. Mm-hmm. That's the man that just tried to like fuck me in front of everyone. And for YouTube's sake, I am avoiding the R word.
Yes, yeah.
But we all know what word I'm talking about.
Yeah.
That's not repertoire.
It's not repertoire now.
And the dude's like, looks down at me and he's like, do you want to go with him? I said, no. And I'm panicking at this point. And the guy was like, well, do you want to come back with me? And I'm like, yes. Mm-hmm. Which is a great example of consent and non-consent.
Yes.
And
he asked.
He did. He did ask. And, he's like, well, why don't we get you back to my hotel room? We'll get you showered. Mm-hmm. We'll get you cleaned up, Because at this point, I'm sweaty. I'm dirty.
Yeah.
I'm just...
Even in September, y'all, like, New Orleans is like...
Well, no, it's just because I
sticky.
had glitter thrown on me, and
yes.
it was the Southern Decadence Parade. Right. So we get back to his hotel. I get cleaned up. He's just sitting on his bed, just chilling, waiting for me to get out of the shower. So I get out of the shower, and I threw my underwear away because I did not want them at that point.
Yeah.
So I just put my shorts and stuff back on. He's like, why did you throw your underwear away? I said, I do not need them. I do not want them. He said, why don't we go get you some more? Mm-hmm. And I was like, well, I don't have any money. He said, well, it's not a big deal. Whatever. Let's just run down to the store because there was a little gay shop down the street from his hotel. He's like, let's run down there. Got me some underwear, got me a fresh shirt. Everything. And we go back to his hotel and he's like, are you okay? He's like, do you want to talk? I said, I'm freaked out. I was like, this is not the first time I've been sexually assaulted. It's actually the third. And he's like, do you need help? Do you want me to call the cops? I said, no, because I know for a fact that after the first time I called the cops in this city, they didn't do a fucking thing about it. And it's because I'm a cis white little gay boy. If a gay dude tries to assault another gay dude, they think nothing of it because, he must have wanted it.
Well, and it's decadence. It's going to be hard to pinpoint the guy. Unless they roll back cameras, get an ID. It's difficult.
It's a tedious process that they don't want to go through.
Yes.
And, we're sitting on the bed. I'm pouring my heart out to this Canadian stranger. Mm-hmm. And he's like, do you want to go get some food? And I was like, yeah, why not? No big deal. I had allotted myself a little bit of money for food because I knew I'd get hungry eventually. So we go down to the French Quarter, we grab a bite, and he's like, "Do you want to stay the night with me?" And I said, "Would you be upset if I said no?" He said, "No, not at all. I would." He's like, "I would completely understand. You don't want to be around people right now."
Yeah.
I said, "Well, if I'm honest with you, I would love to stay the night with you. I just don't know if sexual things will happen." He's like, "That's not why I asked you to stay the night with me." He's like, "Because I know that if you walk out of my hotel room and down the street, that guy could see you again and come after you again. I just want to make sure that you're okay." I said, "That sounds like a really good idea right now." So I text my family, I text my roommate, and I said, "Hey, I'm not coming home tonight." Of course, my roommate thought I was out being a whore, so I gave him a quick rundown of the story. And he's like, "Okay, well, I'm glad you're safe. I'll come get you in the morning." Well, morning comes, I go get food from the hotel lobby, and, haven't seen that guy again. Haven't heard from him, nothing. And this was almost 10 years ago.
You didn't add him on socials or anything?
No. I didn't think to. I mean, it was a bit of a whirlwind kind of situation of how we crossed paths. But damn, am I lucky that he was there.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, it's scary because what you experienced in real life is a lot of what people experience in a digital way on Grindr and other apps.
That is so fucking true. With unsolicited dick pics and whole pics that no one asked for. Like, I have it listed on my profile. Not at first when talking about NSFW.
Yeah, the
pics.
NSFW pics. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like not at first, and people usually take that as an indicator. Okay, well let me
chat.
Let me chat with them. No. But
people don't read that far.
No, people can barely read.
Right. Mine. I mean, on that same note, there's this guy that I am friends with. I would say friends. He's a really nice guy, but he has a really big problem with understanding consent and reading the digital room.
Yeah.
I've told you about this guy before. So this guy, he is originally from the town where I went to college and everything like that. He garnered a bit of a reputation. Now he lives with a very hot older gentleman in France.
Good for him.
Yes. Now, I've never met him in person. We have only met each other in passing through, I think, Tumblr, Twitter, and Facebook. And so, like, he's really big into the fisting scene.
Yeah.
So, I mean, ain't nothing wrong with it. I don't have any plans on putting a fist in my butthole.
No.
Under the right circumstances, if someone's like, "Will you put a fist in my butt?" I'd be like,
"Did you clean out deep enough?
Did you clean out deep enough? And let me make sure there are no teeth here." Like the thing. Yeah, my God. My whole teeth. No, but, so, like, it got to the point where he would, like, send me unsolicited, fisting videos.
We talked about him a couple weeks ago.
So, yeah, so, once again, really nice guy, except, like, every single time I would just try to have a regular conversation with him, somehow he slips, fisting into there.
Do you like my new ring and it's just sliding out of some dude's asshole?
Right, just like, so, like, specifically the day of the Capitol riots, January 6th, 2021. I'm sitting there at work. We have a whole room that's closed that has like 2 TVs that are broadcasting because you can't change the channel without seeing like coverage of this terrorist attack that's happening at the Capitol.
Domestic
terrorist attack that's happening at the Capitol. And it's just like really like fucking scary because I'm sitting there and I'm like, oh my God, like what's about to happen? Because we didn't know like if they were gonna take over and like kill everyone inside, you know what I mean? Like we didn't, nobody knew it was about to happen. So out of nowhere, this guy messages me. He's like, "How are you, handsome?" And I just respond with like, honestly, like, because like at this point, like I'm just trying, like without trying to like blow him off, I'm trying to just like remain like friendly. So I'm like, You know, honestly, like, and I'm trying to be transparent, like friends are with friends. So I'm like, honestly, like I don't know how I'm feeling right now. Like I'm really scared. I don't know if you can see it on the news over in France, but like right now, there are Trump supporters breaking into the Capitol building, trying to prevent the vote from going through. And I don't know. We don't know what's about to happen. I'm very scared for the future right now. And his response was, would some fruit make you feel better? And he sends me a video of him shooting, and I'm looking at you, camera. Audience, you have to look at me while I'm saying this. He's shooting lemons out of his butthole. Like whole lemons, just like one after the other, like bloop, 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 bloop. And
Working in the service industry now, that makes me never want a lemon garnish on any of my drinks.
Correct. There are many reasons you shouldn't want a lemon garnish. I'm not going to tell you why, but
that's at the top.
that's definitely
or
at
the
top.
bottom.
I was going to say, if you pick up the lemon and it feels like it's got Vaseline on it, you know.
It's not wax.
But yeah, no, and I think my problem, you know, there's a whole nother anyway, but there's like a whole nother side to consent that's like really like difficult to talk about, because like sometimes you consent but you don't want to,
right?
Which is like really
coercion. There's a word.
Yeah,
it's called coercion.
You know, like
manipulation.
Like he would ask me like, hey, did these like videos bother you, like or anything like that? And instead of saying no, because I didn't want to hurt his feelings, or you know, I just wanted to like maintain like a friendship, I was like, if this is how you like expressing yourself, then like please feel free to express yourself, be young, wild, and free, but I just want you to understand that this does nothing for me and I am not sexually attracted.
Right, which is clear indication of like, take the fucking hint.
Right. But he kept going. He kept going anyway, and he kept trying to make it sexual. So, like, you know, like, I mean,
Scruff, love that app. That's the app that I met Josh on. Y'all met him in
episode 5.
Episode 5.
Catching catfish.
So this guy lives near us. And I'll just go ahead and use his name because the likelihood he knows how to find a podcast is slim.
Superjax?
Superjax. His name is Gray.
Oh, his name is... Because of his hair?
No, that says government. So, back in November of last year, he's like, hey. I was like, hey. He's like, long time no talk. And I was like, yeah. He's like, what you doing? I said, laying in bed. He said, come lay down with me. I said, I'm okay, but thank you for the offer. He's like, damn, I'd love to snuggle with you. I said, sorry. So, he, what was it? Saturday, he messages me again. How you guys doing? I said, good. He's like, what are you all up to tonight? I said, just going home from work. He's like, good, would love to help you wind down after work. Now, notice that I've already told him I'm not interested. He just didn't pick up on it, on the hint. Mm-hmm. And now, granted, now I have to be direct and be, you know, me, the hate goblin.
Yeah.
He's like, would love to help you wind down after work. I said, how would you do that? And he's like, with my hands and my mouth. First and foremost, no thanks. No. If you want to help me wind down after work, stop fucking talking to me.
Right. Literally, like, this is directly preventing me from winding down right now.
Leave me alone. Like, I need to decompress. The 12-minute drive it takes me to get home is my time to vent and, you know, just rant and bitch about work. Because when I get home, I don't fucking talk about work. Unless I'm with you. And then I talk shit about everybody at work.
Of course.
So, I'm like, yeah, I'm going to have to pass on that. He's like, are you sure? I give a pretty damn good massage and I suck a mean cock. So I responded with, yeah, and I have a pretty straightforward answer. No need to ask if I'm sure. Cool. Glad we had this talk. And if it hasn't set in yet, we're not interested in any shape, form, or fashion. Now, thankfully, I, haven't heard from him since. Thank God, because if I did, I would definitely have to hurt his feelings. Which y'all know I'm not opposed to doing anyway.
Well, he's the same guy that Christmas Eve
showed up at your door.
I was drunk as fuck. Christmas Eve. My grandpa had just died. I wasn't processing things well. And I just I got on Zoom with some friends of mine from Texas, and we drank the night away. And God knows I did not feel great the next day. But the thing that made me feel the worst was
Not the alcohol.
I was drunk, so I was drunk flirting with everyone that hit me up on Grindr, including this guy. So I mean, audience, I just want to let y'all know we have both started limiting the amount of alcohol that we take in a week. I tell you what, I went to the bar Saturday night. I had 2 Trulies and I was good. I was like, I'm done.
Right.
But like that night, I think I went through half a little bottle of Bacardi.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
So anyway, he hits me up. That guy, Super Jax, hits me up, and you know, he's just like, why don't you come over to my place and drink? And I was like, well, sir, I've already been drinking. Yeah, like, so but he's like, well, I could come over to yours. I could bring some wine and cheese. And I'm like, wine and cheese? That sounds great, you know? And, you know, no nudes were exchanged, I don't think. I really don't know. I blocked him after I woke up Christmas Eve. But either way, he was like, where do you live? And I'm like, I live in Bellhaven, like right off of the street that I live on. I'm not going to say what street I live on. Anyway, but he was like, okay. And so, like, this is at like 1 a.m. and I'm gone by this point. I'm like, I'm just going to head to bed. I don't message him or anything. So I wake up the next morning at like 9 in the morning, and at 2 o'clock, he's like, I'm here. What apartment? Where do you live? Hey. And then he's like, I'm at your door. And I'm like scrolling through and I'm like, oh my God. And then I hate using this word to refer to a human being, but like the most pathetic message that I read, the most pitiful message that I read was, come on, dude, I came all this way.
Not the guilt trip.
Yes, the guilt trip. And so, yeah, I think it was actually the night that you and I and Josh had our tryst where I showed you, you know, and Josh told me that guy, like, is in the church somewhere or another, and he would, like, invite Josh specifically to, like, come to his place and have wine and stuff.
That's a different guy. Oh.
Well, he's in the church, though.
If y'all ever need to know the reason I don't go to church, it's that.
Yes.
Now, if you go to a Catholic church and you have a hot priest, please send me the address and pics of said priest.
If it's a American Horror Story asylum situation,
I'll call him daddy.
Yes, ma'am. But either way, Super Jax, if you do happen to listen to this, you know, baby, just like stop. Like just shoot for the moon, but don't try to guilt the stars into fucking you, you know? Cause baby, we're stars of Grindr Tales.
No, it's so crazy because you know, we had touched on it prior. You know, unsolicited dick pics are the bane, like absolute bane of my fucking existence.
Truly. And
I'm just like, now, granted, sometimes I do get a good one.
Yeah.
Let me pull up buddy guy from the other day. Last night.
You heard it here. Ugh, wow, I just had a stroke.
This guy.
Oh yeah, I mean that's great. But was that unsolicited?
I don't know. Let me look. I have a problem remembering things. You know, I'm gonna
get it together, please.
No, they weren't unsolicited. Never mind. Like I said, sometimes you get a good one.
So there you go. I mean, the thing is, like
I asked him for pics. He said, yeah, you want to trade? I was like, absolutely. So we traded pics.
The problem with Grindr, too, though, is, like, sometimes you will get a good unsolicited dick pic, but sometimes you won't. But just from you opening the message and going to the profile to see, like, you know, to gauge, like, if this person's worth talking to, they will see that you have viewed them. So they'll go back and be like, this person's viewed me, they might be interested, and then they'll immediately start, I don't know why I'm typing like it's on the computer, but they'll immediately start texting, and, like, message, like, and just won't leave you the fuck alone because you just happen to look at their profile. Which most of the time, if it's an unsolicited dick pic, there's not a face on the profile anyway.
Right.
You know, so... Yeah, no, it's, oh God.
People, like, not just gays, straights, lesbians, there are a lot of people out there that have issues with consent.
Yes.
The government.
Yes. Yes.
No, it's just, doing this podcast and, talking to people online, it is, oh God, it is the worst type of fucking roller coaster.
It is.
You got your ups, and then you got your downs, and then you got your meth heads. Don't forget your meth heads. They're at every amusement park.
True. One story, because I was thinking, whenever we were talking about this, I thought, at least fart fetish lets people know up front.
Yeah.
Welcome
back, Fart Fetish.
Welcome back, Fart Fetish. It's good to have you on the podcast again. We don't have any updates currently about Fart Fetish. We haven't seen...
No, I haven't.
We haven't seen that profile in a while. If you're out there, I hope you're doing okay, and I hope that you didn't get E. coli.
Right.
I hope that you didn't get your wish and get more than you wished for. But a friend of mine who's a server, which I'll reveal their identity to you because you work with them now. They told me they once had a guy over, good in bed, everything like that, and then the guy, he said that the guy started spooning him, and then he felt a warmth down below, and the guy was farting, and he said, I rolled the fuck out of that bed as quick as I could because right after the fart, right after the lightning came the thunder. Thank God it was not my friend's bed, but that bed was ruined. And that guy was ruined. It was ruined because didn't warn my friend. Didn't warn him at all that was something else that he was into. But
maybe that was fart fetish.
It might have been fart. Fart fetish may have been closer to us than we thought. Fart fetish is like the Zodiac killer of Grindr tales. Nobody really knows who he is.
Cotton Eye Joe, where'd you come from?
Where did you go? He drops little hints and clues. I mean, he might be responsible for what's going on downstairs at my apartment right now.
Fun fact, do you know what Cotton Eye Joe's about?
Isn't it about gonorrhea?
Yes!
Yes! So for those of you who don't know, tangent, in order to diagnose, gonorrhea back in the day, they take a cotton swab and swab around in there.
Painful.
Heard very painful. And so, yeah, your little pee hole eye has a little cotton in it. Your Cotton-Eyed Joe.
Yeah.
Cotton-Eyed Cock. But, that's the new name of the podcast, Cotton-Eyed Cock.
Yeah.
Weekly podcasts where we talk about
STDs.
STDs. Have you ever gotten an STD?
No.
Neither have I, and I'm very surprised.
Same.
Because of the amount of unprotected sex I have had in my life.
No, I have an old coworker of mine. His partner decided that who's got a massive dick. Beautiful to look at. Really, really nice. He fucked a dude one time. Dude didn't tell him he had chlamydia, this whole thing. So he gets chlamydia living in his butthole now. Didn't know that was a thing. So the guy proceeds to try to fuck himself with his own dick. Gives himself chlamydia.
I think we can end the podcast there.
It was so bad.
That's you can't make that shit up.
Well, no, because he thought because they have an open relationship too. He thought his partner gave him chlamydia and didn't tell him. No, it was just some other dude.
I don't know what to do.
Chlamydia out.
Wow.
This is not something you ask Google.
This is not something you ask Google at all.
Don't ask Jeeves either.
I had a friend who, back when they were in college. They were dating this guy, and the guy ate them out, and then like he broke up with the guy, and then like the next week he thought he like had like anal cancer because like his asshole was like burning and itching and swelling.
Heard.
Turns out this guy had oral herpes and was having a flare up when he ate my friend out.
And just gave him herpes.
Just gave him herpes.
That's awful.
That's the itch you can never scratch off. Herpes is forever. Diamonds and herpes.
Facts.
And taxes.
And death.
And death. Are forever. Are forever. Yeah. Which we kind of got off the topic of consent. But you know, I mean, I guess in a way.
The title of this episode can be Over the Rainbow Tangents.
Over the Rainbow Tangents. Trigger horny over the rainbow. Volume 6. Redux. I don't know.
Right.
But yeah. So yeah, I think we could probably wrap it up there. But But before we do, is there something you'd like to promote?
So yes, two things actually. So first is my OnlyFans. I did start recently making OnlyFans content.
Yeah.
The Iron Bear.
Yes.
The _ Iron Bear. Mm-hmm. No wait.
Doing a great sales pitch right now.
Let me look that up real quick. We'll cut this part out. It's fine. It's fine.
We can't cut it out of the video.
Shit.
Well, okay, your Instagram handle is the _ Iron Bear.
No, it's Iron Bear _ Bear _ OF.
Yeah.
My OnlyFans is Iron _ Bear.
People are gonna pay attention no matter. You're not gonna lose anybody like looking for it because people are immediately gonna be like, what? They're gonna be waiting for it, so we don't have to worry about cutting it. Like,
no, and another thing that I'd like to promote. Luckily, we're not monetized on YouTube. Is this? I'm not gonna show you all the front of it, but I will show you the label. It is Ramrod.
Hold on, let me see if we can see it on the camera.
It is single-handedly like the most comfortable jockstrap I've ever worn, and I try not to wear underwear as often as possible just because I got a lot going on.
Yeah,
I got a lot going on.
Yeah,
and reached out to a content creator on TikTok actually, and Ramiro Rodriguez is the owner of the business. Does amazing work, custom make, hand makes each and every one of them. So it's
all bodies.
For all bodies. So it's not one of those mass produced jockstraps. He gets an order, he makes it, ships it out. Super affordable. Much like my OnlyFans. My OnlyFans is $10 a month.
You can afford it.
You really can. You can. And then, but the jockstraps are like $25 a piece.
That's fantastic. That's a fucking steal. I mean, you could go to fucking Romantic Adventures right down the road and pay like $70 for a mass-made jockstrap.
Well, this is what
you don't even get to pick the colors or anything for. You don't get to customize.
Well, the best thing is for Ramrod, it's you can message him through TikTok or Instagram or whatever, and you tell him what you want, the colors, any specific patterns. He will go to a fabric store and do what he can do to find what you want to make something.
Yes.
And customer service.
Absolutely. I saw y'all DMing. He was quick to respond.
Very fast. Y'all are more than welcome to go to his page at ramrod.net. Super great selection of products.
Absolutely.
Swimwear, tank tops, t-shirts, socks, the whole shebang.
And if you want to see more of Justin modeling those jockstraps, you can see those on his OnlyFans. We had a little photo shoot before recording, and it was
It really was. That was a lot
We
of
did
fun.
some fantastic work. So if you want, if any of you out there are interested in doing a photo shoot with me, also after seeing these photos, like please, like hit me up. I'd be more than happy.
Yeah, hit me up on Twitter at pounding_iron.
Pounding iron, yes, ma'am.
You'll be seeing a few pictures, not the whole thing. I'm not going to release everything to the public. Here and there, every couple of days or so.
Yeah.
And get something set up. Go visit Ramrod if you want some super comfortable jockstraps or trunks or bikinis or whatever you want to wear.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, shameless RuPaul plug.
Yeah, absolutely. And just remember, at the end of the day, no means no, and there is no wrong time to say no. Facts. Absolutely no wrong time to say no. So with that, we close chapter 9 of Grindr Tales. Wow.
Ironically, chapter 9 and 9 in German means no.
I'm thinking of a new title. Anyway, goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye.
Thanks for tuning in to Grindr Tales, hosted by Jacob and Justin. Original theme song by Jacob. If you're listening on your favorite podcast platform, go ahead and rate, review, and subscribe. We promise not to be as pushy as some of the dudes in our inbox. If you're on YouTube, subscribe and hit that notification bell, like the video, and leave a comment. Even if it is nasty, oh, we're used to it by now. Share Grindr Tales with everyone you know, but your mom. Unless she's cool. Follow us on Instagram at GrinderTales_podcast, or join the Grindr Tales Facebook group to share your own dating app blunders. If you have a question, want to be on the show, or just want to tell us how much you love us, send an email with your name and preferred pronouns to grindertales@gmail.com. Unsolicited nudes are not a requirement or a preference, but if you're feeling frisky, shoot your shot. See you next time, only on Grindr Tales.